Hi, my amazing friends. Welcome to my channel. Have you ever felt frozen while speaking English? You know the words, you understand the question, but somehow you just stop. You think too much, worry about mistakes, and then nothing comes out. Today, I will show you a simple way to speak English freely, without overthinking. Aye. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will start speaking more, thinking less, and gaining confidence every single day. Chapter E. Why Overthinking Stops You from Speaking. Have you noticed that when you try to speak English, your brain suddenly you start thinking about grammar, pronunciation, perfect sentences, and what others will think? This is normal. Beginner goes through this. I have seen students who know hundreds of words, but when they try to speak, they freeze. They stay silent, even when they want to say something very simple. Let me tell you a small story. A student named Ali used to study English for years. He watched movies, read books, and even did exercises daily. But when someone asked him a simple question, like, "How are you?" he would stop. He thought, "Should I say I am fine or I am good? What if I make a mistake?" After thinking for a few seconds, he said nothing. Can you imagine? He knew the answer, but thinking too much stopped him. Why does this happen? Our brain is trying to protect us. It doesn't want us to make mistakes, to feel embarrassed, or to fail. But here's the truth. English is a skill, and like any skill, you can only improve by doing it. Thinking about it too much. Overthinking slows down. Speaking because your brain is busy. Creating problems instead of producing words. Now, think about a baby learning to speak. Babies don't worry about grammar or mistakes. They try, fail, repeat, and gradually speak fluently. We can learn from them. Even if we know the rules, we must first allow ourselves to speak, even imperfectly. Here's a small exercise for you. Take one simple sentence like "I like tea." Say it aloud 10 times today. Don't worry about mistakes. Just say it. Can you do it? That's the first step to speaking more and thinking less. This is a top moment, because many learners underestimate the power of repeating small sentences daily. It may feel silly, but it works. Another important thing, mistakes are not bad. Actually, mistakes are signs that you are learning. Imagine if Ali never made a mistake. He would never improve. Every small mistake teaches you something new. Every time you speak, even wrongly, your brain remembers the words and phrases. Better. Slowly, you start thinking less and speaking more naturally. Now, here's a small secret that I always tell my students. Thinking less is not about ignoring grammar or vocabulary. It's about training your brain to speak first, correct later. The more you speak, the more confident you get. Imagine talking to a friend or a shopkeeper. You don't think about grammar, you just speak. That's the skill we need to practice in English too. Ali started practicing this method. He began speaking 5 sentences every morning about his day. I eat breakfast. It is sunny. I like coffee. Slowly, he added more sentences and started speaking in longer conversations. With friends, the first week was hard. He felt nervous, but he kept speaking, right? By the second week, he noticed he was thinking less. By the third week, he spoke fluently without stopping. This is the proof. Practice, speaking, repetition, less thinking, more speaking. So, what should you remember from this chapter? 3 things. E. Overthinking is normal, but it stops you from speaking. R. Mistakes are good, they are your teachers. San. Start small, speak daily, and repeat simple sentences. Tomorrow, in the next chapter, we will talk about the secret technique that helps you speak automatically without translating. This is where the real breakthrough begins. Stay with me, because this will change the way you speak English forever. Chapter R. The secret to speaking automatically. Have you ever wondered why some people speak English fluently without thinking, while others freeze at every word? The secret is simple. They have trained their brain to speak automatically. A. You can do the same. The key is to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English for small things every day. This may sound strange, but it works wonders for beginners. Let me explain. When we try to speak English, we often translate from our native language. For example, you want to say, I am going to the market. In your head, you translate each word. I, main, am. Hun, going. Ya raha, market, bazaar. By the time you form the sentence, you hesitate, and your confidence drops. This is exactly why overthinking happens. But when you start thinking directly in English, your brain learns to produce sentences without stopping. Here's a simple exercise you can do right now. Look around your room. See a chair. Think chair. See a book. Think book. See a pen. Think pen. Do this for 5 minutes. By doing this, you are training your brain to recognize objects and actions in English automatically. This is the first step to speaking without thinking too much. Let me share a story. A student named Sarah used to study English for years. She knew grammar, vocabulary, and even phrasal verbs. But when she tried to speak, she froze. Then I suggested a simple exercise. Every day, she would name objects around her. In English, describe her actions, and repeat simple sentences aloud. For example, I drink water, I open the window, I read a book. At first, it felt silly, but after a week, she noticed something amazing. Anged. When someone asked her a simple question in English, produced rharenly, she no longer translated word by word. She spoke naturally. This is the power of thinking in English. When you do it daily, even for a few minutes, your brain starts connecting English words directly to ideas. You stop overthinking grammar and vocabulary because your mind has learned the words automatically. This is a top moment in learning because beginners often wait months for perfect grammar before speaking. The truth is, automatic thinking is faster than perfect grammar. Another important tip is to use simple phrases first. You don't need to speak long, complicated sentences at the beginning. Start with easy ones. I like tea. It is sunny today. I am happy. Repeat them aloud every day. Speak them while walking, eating, or even sitting alone. Your brain starts recognizing the patterns. Slowly, you can combine these phrases into longer sentences, and your English will become natural. Also, don't fear mistakes. Remember Sarah? At first, she made small mistakes in pronunciation and word order. But she kept speaking. The more she practiced, the less she overthought. By the end of the month, she could speak confidently to her friends and even participate in short English conversations online. This is a proof for all beginners. Consistency. Rotmel's repetition. Automatic speaking. Now, here's a small challenge for you today. Try to think in English for 10 minutes. Name objects, describe your actions, and repeat small sentences aloud. Don't worry about grammar or mistakes. Just focus on thinking and speaking in English directly. If you do this daily, even for a few minutes, you will notice a huge difference in your confidence and fluency. Before we finish this chapter, remember this: speaking automatically does not mean ignoring grammar or vocabulary. It means training your brain to produce English words and sentences without hesitation. Grammar will improve naturally as you speak more. The goal is to stop overthinking and start speaking every day, little by little. In the next chapter, we will talk about small daily habits that make a big difference in your speaking skills. These are simple, practical steps you can start today, and they will gradually transform your English. Stay with me, because this is where your speaking journey truly begins. Chapter 10: Small Steps. Big change. When learning English, many beginners think they need to speak perfectly from the first day. They imagine long, complicated sentences, perfect pronunciation, and no mistakes. This thought makes them nervous and stops them from speaking at all. But the truth is very different. Small steps every day lead to big changes over time. You don't need to speak perfectly to improve. You just need to speak regularly. Let me tell you a story. There was a student named Ahmed. He was shy and nervous. Every time someone asked him a question in English, he stayed silent. He felt embarrassed and thought he would never speak English fluently. One day, I gave him a simple challenge. Speak 5 sentences every day about his daily life. That was it. He could say things like, I eat breakfast, I go to school, I like tea. Hey! At first, he struggled. The sentences felt too simple, and he even laughed at himself. But he kept doing it daily, just 5 sentences. After a few days, something amazing happened. His confidence began to grow. 5 sentences turned into 10. He started describing more actions. I am drinking water. I am opening the door. It is sunny today. Every day, he practiced without worrying about mistakes. His brain was learning slowly, but steadily. And here is the secret: small, consistent practice beats long, irregular sessions every time. Another important step is to speak aloud. Many beginners read silently or listen to English videos, thinking that's enough. But speaking aloud makes a huge difference. When you speak, your brain connects words with sounds and actions. You remember them faster and you start speaking automatically. Ahmed started speaking aloud every morning for 2 minutes. He spoke about his plans, his day, and even things he saw around him. By the second week, he noticed that he could form sentences faster. He no longer froze while speaking. This is a top moment for all learners. Speaking aloud builds fluency faster than any other method. Small steps also include repeating phrases. Beginners often worry about grammar or vocabulary, but repetition helps you remember words naturally. For example, try saying I like apples, I like tea, I like reading every day. These small phrases will grow in your brain like seeds. Slowly, you will start creating longer sentences. I like reading books in the morning. Or I like tea and breakfast in the kitchen. Simple daily actions lead to big improvements. Another tip is to talk to yourself in English. This may sound strange, but it works very well. Describe your actions. I am drinking water. I am opening the window. I am sitting on a chair. By talking to yourself, you are practicing without fear. You don't need anyone to correct you. Your brain gets used to producing English words naturally. Many learners hesitate to speak because they fear judgment. Talking to yourself solves this problem completely. Consistency is the key. 5 sentences today, 10 tomorrow, and speaking aloud for a few minutes every day. Voila! This small daily habit gradually makes you comfortable speaking English. Imagine Ahmed after 1 month. He was speaking confidently with friends, asking questions, and even telling short stories. All this happened because he started small and repeated daily. Small steps create big change, but only if you keep practicing every day. Now, here's a challenge for you. Start with just 5 sentences today. Speak them aloud. Describe what you are doing, seeing, or feeling. Repeat them tomorrow and add 2 more sentences. Do this every day. By the end of the week, you will notice a big difference. You will speak faster, think less, and feel more confident. This is your first step toward speaking English fluently. Remember, progress may feel slow at first, but every small step counts. Don't rush, don't compare, and don't stop. Big change comes from small, consistent actions. In the next chapter, we will learn about how to stop translating in your head, which is the main reason. Beginners think too much before speaking. Once you learn this, speaking English will feel much easier and natural. Bye. Stay with me because this is where your real transformation begins. Chapter. Stop. Translating in your head. Have you ever tried to speak English, but ended up translating every word from your native language? For example, you want to say, I am going to school, but in your mind, you first think in your language, main school, aja raha hoon, and then try to change it into English. By the time you finish translating, you hesitate, pause, and sometimes say nothing at all. This is one of the biggest reasons beginners overthink and speak slowly. Let me tell you a story. A student named Fatima knew many English words and even some grammar rules. She could read books and watch English videos easily, but when it liam, came to speaking, she froze. But when it came to speaking, she froze. She was translating everything in her head. She thought, if I make a mistake, people will laugh at me. So she stayed quiet. This was frustrating for her. She wanted to speak freely but couldn't. The solution is simple. Stop translating in your head. Start thinking in English for small things around you. This is how you train your brain to speak naturally. For example, when you see a chair, just think chair. When you see a pen, think pen. When you eat an apple, think, I eat an apple. By practicing small things in English every day, your brain begins to connect words directly to ideas without translation. This is a top moment because many beginners don't realize that thinking in English is the secret to speaking fluently. Another technique is to speak about your day in English without translating. Fatima started this simple exercise. Every morning, she spoke 5 sentences about her day. She said things like, I drink water, I open the window, I go to school, a wool. At first, she made mistakes, but she didn't worry. After a few days, she noticed that she could speak faster without stopping. Her brain started forming sentences automatically without translation. This is how beginners can stop overthinking. A very effective tip is to practice speaking immediately after learning a new word or phrase. For example, if you learn the word book, say, I read a book. This is my book, or I like this book. Don't translate. Use it in English sentences. This creates a natural habit. Your brain starts associating words with meaning directly in English. Slowly, you will speak without hesitation. Let's talk about mistakes. Many learners avoid speaking because they fear errors. But the truth is, mistakes are the fastest way to improve. Fatima made many mistakes at the beginning. She mixed up words, mispronounced, and sometimes forgot grammar, but she kept speaking. Every mistake helped her brain remember the correct words. Over time, her English became smooth and natural. This is one of the top moments for beginner learners, understanding that mistakes are part of learning, not failure. Here's a small daily challenge. For 5 minutes today, describe everything you do in English. Don't translate. Don't worry about grammar. Just speak. For example, I am eating breakfast. I am opening my door. I am sitting on a chair. Try this tomorrow and increase the time to 10 minutes. Do this consistently. You will see that your brain stops translating, your words come faster, and your confidence grows. Finally, remember this: thinking less doesn't mean ignoring grammar or vocabulary. It means training your brain to connect English words directly with ideas. Grammar will improve naturally as you speak more. The key is to speak freely, make mistakes, and repeat small sentences daily. Tried. Fatima's transformation shows that stopping translation is a simple but powerful step towards speaking fluently. In the next chapter, we will talk about the shadowing technique and repetition, which will take your speaking skills to the next level. This is where you will learn how to improve pronunciation, speed, and confidence while speaking English naturally. Stay with me because the journey is just getting more exciting. Chapter Wove. Shadowing and repetition. Have you ever tried to listen to English and then immediately repeat what you hear? This is called shadowing, and it is one of the most powerful techniques to speak English fluently. Shadowing helps your brain, your mouth, and your ears work together. It trains you to speak automatically without thinking too much. For beginners, this can be a game changer. Let me explain with a story. A student named Rehan was afraid to speak English. He knew words, he understood grammar, but he froze when he had to talk. Then I suggested shadowing. He would watch a short English video or listen to a podcast, pause a few words, and repeat exactly what he heard. For example, if the speaker said, "I am going to the park," Rehan would immediately say, "I am going to the park." At first, it felt awkward, but he kept practicing every day for 10 minutes. After a week, Rehan noticed something amazing. His pronunciation improved. He could speak faster, and he no longer paused to think about each word. Shadowing teaches your brain and mouth to work together. It also helps you remember phrases naturally. Instead of memorizing sentences from a book, your brain remembers them because you repeated them while listening. This creates a natural habit of speaking English. Another reason shadowing works is repetition. Beginners often learn a word or sentence once and forget it. But when you repeat it multiple times while speaking aloud, your brain stores it for a long time. Rehan repeated each sentence 5 to 10 times. He even repeated them while walking, eating, or cooking. This simple habit helped him speak fluently without thinking about grammar or vocabulary. This is a top moment for all learners because many beginners underestimate the power of daily repetition. You can start very simply. Choose a short video, maybe 1 minute long. Listen carefully, then pause, repeat, and speak exactly what you heard. Don't worry. Worry if your pronunciation is not perfect at first. Hold. The goal is to train your brain to think in English and your mouth to speak automatically. Over time, your speed, confidence, and fluency will increase. Naturally, another tip is to use short dialogues. Many English learning apps and videos provide conversations between two people. Shadow these conversations. Speak both roles if you like. What? This makes learning fun and helps you practice real-life situations. You start using English the way native speakers do, without overthinking. This is a spike moment for YouTube engagement because beginners love practical exercises they can do immediately. Remember, mistakes are part of shadowing too. Don't correct yourself too often while practicing. Speak first, improve later. Your brain learns best when you focus on speaking, not on being perfect. Rehan made many small errors in the beginning, but he didn't stop. Every day, his sentences became smoother, longer, and more confident. Here's a small challenge for you today. Choose any short English clip, even 1 minute. Shadow it times. Repeat the phrases aloud, speak confidently, and notice how your speed improves. Do this daily. In just a few days, you will realize your English speaking is becoming natural, fast, and confident. This is the power of shadowing. Repetition, finally. Remember, shadowing is not just for pronunciation. It is also for thinking less and speaking more. When you repeat sentences while listening, your brain learns patterns, sentence structures, and vocabulary. You don't need to translate. You just speak. This simple technique can transform beginners into confident English speakers. In the next chapter, we will talk about talking to yourself, another simple but highly effective way to practice English every day. This method is private, stress-free, and builds confidence quickly. Stay with me because your speaking skills are about to get much stronger. Chapter Han. Talking to yourself. Have you ever spoken to yourself in English? It may sound strange at first, but this is one of the easiest and most powerful ways to practice speaking without fear. Talking to yourself allows you to practice freely, make mistakes, and repeat sentences without worrying about anyone listening. Beginners often stop speaking because they fear judgment. But when you speak alone, that fear disappears. Let me tell you a story. A student named Sarah was very shy. She knew words, could read English books, and understood grammar, but she froze in front of others. I suggested she start talking to herself. At first, she felt silly. She said things like, "I am drinking water," "It is sunny today," and "I like this book." Every morning, she spoke aloud for 10 minutes. Within a week, she noticed something amazing. Her sentences came naturally, and she didn't pause to think as much. Talking to yourself trained her brain to think in English and speak freely. One of the best things about this method is that it is completely stress-free. You don't have to worry about mistakes. You don't have to worry about grammar. Your goal is to practice thinking in English and speaking daily. You can describe what you see, what you are doing, or even what you feel. For example, I am sitting on a chair, I am eating breakfast, I am happy today. These simple sentences slowly grow into longer, more complex sentences. This is a top moment for beginners because it shows that small, private practice can create big confidence. Imagine conversations. For example, imagine you are at a shop and the shopkeeper asks, "Do you want tea or coffee?" Speak aloud, "I want tea, please," or "Can I have coffee?" You can practice asking and answering simple questions daily. This method prepares you for real conversations without fear. Sarah did this every evening. After 2 weeks, she could answer simple questions from friends and even ask questions herself. This shows that practice alone can translate into confidence in real life. Talking to yourself also helps with fluency and speed. Beginners often pause too much because they are translating or thinking about grammar. When you talk alone, your brain gets used to forming sentences naturally. Over time, your speech becomes smoother and faster. You start noticing patterns in English, like common phrases, sentence structures, and connectors. Sarah's speed improved significantly after just a few minutes of daily self-talk. Ver. This is a viewer spike moment because beginners love to see immediate results from simple exercises. You can also combine this method with shadowing from the previous chapter. Row 10. War. For example, after listening and repeating a short video or dialogue, try talking to yourself using the same phrases. This doubles your practice and helps your brain remember words and sentences naturally. Repetition, self-talk, faster improvement. Sarah did this every day, and soon she could have short conversations without hesitation. Here is a simple challenge for you today. Spend 0 minutes talking to yourself in English. Describe what you see, what you are doing, or how you feel. Don't worry about mistakes or grammar. Speak aloud, repeat phrases, and imagine conversations. You will notice that your confidence grows and your mind starts thinking in English automatically. This is the essence of thinking less and speaking more. Remember, speaking to yourself is the safest and most powerful way to build confidence. You control the pace, the sentences, and the topics. Every word you speak trains your brain. Every mistake teaches you something new. By practicing consistently, even for a few minutes daily, you will notice that speaking English becomes natural, fast, and enjoyable. In the next chapter, we will learn about using simple phrases first and building longer sentences. This is where you will start connecting your small sentences into meaningful conversations. Stay with me because your English is about to become stronger, smoother, and more confident than ever. Chapter Chi, using simple phrases. First, when learning English, beginners often think they need to speak long, perfect sentences from the start. This thought can be very discouraging, but the truth is, using simple phrases first is the fastest way to improve your speaking skills. Starting with small, easy sentences builds confidence, and over time, these phrases grow into longer, natural conversations. Let me share a story. A student named Bilal was very nervous about speaking English. He wanted to speak perfectly, but every time he tried, he froze. I told him to start with simple phrases. For example, he could say, I like tea. It is sunny. I am happy. Or, I want water. At first, he thought these phrases were too small, but he tried them every day. He repeated them aloud, used them in his daily life, and gradually added more words to each sentence. Here's the magic. Simple phrases become building blocks. When Bilal said, I like tea, he later added, I like tea in the morning. Then I like tea in the morning with bread. Little by little, he formed longer sentences naturally. This is a top moment for beginners. Understanding that starting small is not weak, it is smart. Small phrases give you the courage to speak without fear. And repetition makes your brain remember patterns automatically. Another important tip is to use phrases in real life situations. For example, if you are at a shop, you can use, I want water. How much is this? Can I pay with cash? These short phrases are enough to communicate and practice. Over time, you can expand them. I want water, please. Or, How much is this bottle of water? Simple phrases grow into longer sentences naturally, and your confidence increases. Let's also talk about daily practice. Beginners often feel they need long hours of practice, but that's not true. Using simple phrases for just a few minutes every day works wonders. Bilal practiced for 10 minutes each morning and 10 minutes in the evening. He spoke to himself, named things around him, and repeated small phrases he learned. After 2 weeks, he noticed he was speaking faster, thinking less, and forming longer sentences automatically. This is a spike moment for learners because it shows progress in a short time. Another powerful tip is to combine phrases creatively. For example, if you know the phrases, I like tea, I drink coffee, and it is morning, you can create, in the morning, I like tea, but sometimes I drink coffee. By connecting simple phrases, you are training your brain to form meaningful sentences without hesitation. This is where thinking less and speaking more truly begins. Mistakes will happen, and that is perfectly okay. Beginners often fear making mistakes when using simple phrases. But every mistake is a step forward. Bilal sometimes said, I likes tea, or I drinked coffee, but he kept practicing. Every repetition corrected his sentences naturally over time. Now, the key is to speak first and correct later, not the other way around. Here's a small challenge for you. Today, pick 5 simple phrases you can use every day. Harry, speak them aloud, use them in real life situations, and try to combine them into longer sentences. For example, start with I like apples, then say, I like apples in the morning, and finally, I like apples in the morning with tea. You will see how quickly small phrases turn into full sentences. Remember, beginners often underestimate the power of simple phrases. They think they are too small to matter. But small phrases are the foundation of fluency. Speak them daily, repeat them, and gradually expand them. Your brain will start thinking in English, your confidence will grow, and you will speak more without overthinking. In the next chapter, we will learn about the mindset shift, how changing your thinking about mistakes, practice, and speaking can completely transform your English. This chapter will give you the motivation and mental strength to speak confidently every day. Stay with me because this is the key to long-term success. Chapter Ba, the mindset shift. When it comes to speaking English, many beginners face the same problem: fear and overthinking. They worry about mistakes, grammar, pronunciation, or what others will think. This fear stops them from speaking, even if they know the words. But here's the truth. Your mindset is more important than your grammar or vocabulary. Word. If you change the way you think about learning and speaking, your English will improve faster than ever. Let me tell you a story. A student named Ali was afraid to speak English. He thought, if I make a mistake, people will laugh at me. Every time he tried to speak, he froze. But then I explained the mindset shift. Mistakes are not failure. They are learning opportunities. Ali started to see mistakes as small steps toward improvement, Every sentence he spoke, even if it had errors, was progress. Slowly, this changed everything. His fear decreased, and he started speaking freely. The mindset shift is simple but powerful. First, you must accept mistakes as part of learning. Every learner, even native speakers, makes mistakes. The difference is that successful learners don't let mistakes stop them. They speak, learn, and correct gradually. Beginners often want to speak perfectly, but perfection is not the goal. Communication and confidence are the goals. Once you focus on speaking and improving, your English will grow naturally. And another part of the mindset shift is thinking in English. Stop translating every sentence in your head. Trust your brain. When you practice daily using small phrases, self-talk, or shadowing, your brain starts thinking in English automatically. This reduces hesitation, increases speed, and builds confidence. Beginners often underestimate this power. Thinking in English is not just a technique, it is a mindset that changes the way you speak forever. Consistency is also a part of this mindset. Many learners practice irregularly and feel frustrated when they don't see immediate results, but progress comes from small, daily steps. Speak 5 sentences today, repeat them tomorrow, shadow a video, talk to yourself. These small actions accumulate over time. Ollie practiced consistently every day, and after a month, he could hold short conversations confidently. The mindset shift is realizing that daily practice beats occasional long sessions every time. Now, let's talk about confidence. Confidence comes from action, not theory. Reading about speaking, watching videos, or learning grammar is useful, but you only gain confidence by speaking regularly. Start with small phrases, repeat them aloud, shadow short clips, and talk to yourself. Every word you speak builds confidence. Your brain learns patterns, sentences, and vocabulary naturally. Over time, you will speak faster, smoother, and more confidently. Here is a small challenge for you today. Focus on speaking without fear. Don't worry about mistakes. Repeat simple phrases, talk to yourself, or shadow a short video. Notice your thoughts. Whenever fear or doubt comes, remind yourself, mistakes are learning. I speak to improve. This small mindset change will make a huge difference. Remember, English speaking is a journey, not a race. Everyone learns at their own pace. The key is to think less, speak more, and enjoy the process. With the right mindset, even small daily actions lead to big improvements. Mistakes become lessons, small phrases become conversations, and over time, you will speak English confidently without hesitation. Finally, here's your call to action. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, subscribe to my channel for more tips and exercises to speak English confidently. Like this video to show your support, and comment below. Tell me one simple phrase you will speak today. Your comment can inspire other learners just like you. Remember, thinking less and speaking more is the secret to success, and you can start today. Next steps: practice small phrases daily, shadow short videos or dialogues, talk to yourself for 1 to 3 minutes every day, Think in English instead of translating. Accept mistakes as part of learning. If you follow these steps, you will speak English naturally, confidently, and with less fear. The key is action, repetition, and mindset. Start today and enjoy your journey to fluency. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, subscribe to my channel for more tips to speak English confidently. Like this video to show support and comment below. Tell me one simple phrase you will speak today. Remember, thinking less and speaking more is the secret to success, and you can start today.